Okay, I think today's Thursday. It's kind of cloudy and overcast, and it was raining yesterday. It's going to rain today. It's going to rain all week. So I'm going to try and get out and just walk down towards the downtown to kind of see some of the architecture, get a feeling of the city a little bit. The area I'm living in North Riga is kind of like a suburbs, like a lot of apartment blocks, a lot of older homes. And so this is kind of like where the majority of people live. It's not a tourist area at all. So I'm just going to see what I can find. I found a big mall yesterday. Maybe I'll capture it today on the video as I walk downtown. But regardless, the seagull over there, the mother or father seagull, whatever, and the little chicks, they're getting a little bit bigger. And this morning I had to help protect the chicks because there was a crow kind of creeping in on them, and the seagull parent was very upset, and so I kind of clapped my hands to scare the crow away to help protect the chicks. So that very diligent parent seagull keeping watch. But yeah, anyway, let's go for a walk downtown, and hopefully I won't get too rained on. I'll bring my jacket. I don't have an umbrella, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's go for a walk. Find interesting is like all the little supermarkets or grocery stores are integrated into the apartment blocks, which is kind of different than, definitely different than the United States. But yeah, this is kind of a side street. This is what you typically see in this area, is these apartment blocks like this, made out of brick. Most of them have wood construction for the roofing, it looks like. And I had some repair guys come by this morning to work on the leaky shower. It's not the shower, it's actually like a hot water pipe for the bathroom to keep it warm. And I asked them if they spoke English, and like, oh, no, Russian. So I think here in Latvia, I'm not really too sure, but I think there's a lot of Russian speaking people, and then there's the Latvian language as well. It's kind of a mix of both. And something else that I found quite interesting about Riga so far is there's not a lot of fast food restaurants. Unlike, for example, London or Portugal or the US, where everywhere there's just, McDonald's, Burger King, fried chicken joints. I've hardly seen any. I was in the really upscale mall and I saw a couple of them, but in the food court, but I don't see them like anywhere else. Okay, let's get across the street. Kind of walking through this apartment block to get to where I need to go, but you could tell it's like, they're kind of ugly and they're not very upkept very well. Yeah, just not the, but it's kind of harsh climate as well. I think I have to pass through here somewhere. Yeah. And there is graffiti, but I don't see much trash, which is quite interesting. A lot of other countries, this is garbage everywhere. And even though it seems like a kind of poor area, I gotta find out where I'm at. I think I gotta go down the street. Like I said, it's pretty clean. Yeah, see, they use a lot of wood construction with the brick, which you don't see very often. And you can tell these are really old buildings because they have the old insulators for wiring all over the place, which aren't used anymore, but they're everywhere. They're prevalent. Something else I noticed about the architecture, which is quite interesting, is all the houses, you'll see it right here, they all have these flagpole posts. Maybe it could be for awnings, I guess. But I've seen a lot of them that are kind of like at angles, which leads me to believe they're for flags. But look at the architecture and the old wood awnings and stuff. Or vestibules, whatever you want to call those things. So it's very much a combination of both. And then you have this really old, I don't even know when these were built, really nasty looking. You know, and all the apartments here are super small. This is kind of a cool house here. Here's a cool building. So you see like old buildings like this, they're probably built in the, you know, turn of the century, right? Actually, it looks like 1930s, 1920s construction. And then you have, you know, very modern, and you can see that the use of wood, you know, once again, is prevalent in their architecture here, which is pretty interesting. I'm wondering if the more north I go, it's more wooded, the countries, right? They have more wood, timber. They'll use a lot more. But yeah, and they got some houses that are being renovated, you know. This is an older home. It was fixed up. Super cool. Okay, continue on. Yeah, see, here's like a little neighborhood grocery store, just like kind of right here in the basement of this house. You know, this apartment block. See a lot of that here. Wow, it's really windy. Okay, gotta get across the highway somehow. A dead hedgehog. Ugh, gross. I think hedgehogs are pretty common in this region. Oh, gotta get across the road. Yeah, but I've also noticed this country is very orderly. Like on the sidewalks, when you get a little bit more downtown, they actually have paint lines for walking, riding your bike, crossing the street. And what's really interesting is when I was walking downtown yesterday, everyone actually follows the rules, which is quite interesting. But yeah, see, there's like no garbage on the side of the road. Like in London, Portugal, everywhere, there's just tons of trash. US, but not here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what these houses look like on the inside. Look at all the old chimney stacks where they used to use wood for our coal. But they really, a lot of them throughout the city are really kind of dilapidated looking. I'm curious as to inside if they're like made up really nice or not. But you can tell like they don't, the roofing and all of them is kind of bad. This one looks almost like it's abandoned. It'd be so cool to buy something like that and renovate it. But then you got really nice houses like this one, which is an older one. And you can tell they got newer windows, or all the sashes are painted, the doors in good condition. So they are like, some people are keeping some of them up. But yeah, they don't really paint the buildings very often, it doesn't look like, or take care of them. Those are like modern windows. So, I don't know. And I was in this area before. This is where the big mall is, and I'll put it in the description. But these old factories, I walked through here the other day, and they're renovating them, and I think they're turning them into other things, like apartment blocks or office blocks. So this area is kind of heavily under construction right now. More traditional construction that I've seen. 1912. Okay, so that's good. Oh, a little Barbie doll head in there in the window. But you also notice, like, well, this building's kind of falling apart. But once again, they have the flagpole thing there. They're very into flags here, I guess. Very patriotic. And then, but I've also noticed they actually have shutters on all the windows here, and they look like they're actually usable. This one, they're kind of already gone. But here's like some remnants of some shutters, which you don't typically see anywhere, really. But these are real. Like, these are real shutters. They're not used anymore, but a lot of them are missing. But it's very interesting. When I lived in Germany, a lot of the older homes also had shutters. And I actually quite liked it when in the summer, you shut the shutters when you want to take a nap or something. And you could leave the window open so you get a breeze that comes through. There's more old homes back there made out of wood. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna go check out this thing called The Spot. It's an indoor skateboard park. It's closed right now, but I want to go see if they got someone there that will let me look at it. I haven't been able to skateboard since my motorcycle accident, but hopefully soon. Okay, there's a skateboard shop, but you can see like these old warehouses have been renovated, and they're actually using it for art centers, shops, upscale shops, restaurants probably. And the big mall is actually right over here. I'll probably do a little walkthrough in a second on my way to find another skate park, which is pretty close. Let's go see if we could find out where I'm at. It's cool that they're urban renewal, you know, these old factory buildings. It's pretty cool. There's the big mall. And see, you can see the old abandoned factory buildings that they're not using anymore, all around here. Okay, but actually I think I'm gonna go this way first. Yeah, more old factories, old smokestacks. That's kind of the renovated part. That's muddy. I like finding these cool urban spots that are being revitalized. Okay, I think the skate park is back this way. Let's go see if we can find it. Okay, so this is a little park, and this used to be a fountain. And I guess this area, you know, kind of was dilapidated for quite a long time before they started renovating all these buildings. Like that one looks renovated. A lot more in the back, which I showed you, have been renovated. And this fountain here wasn't, you know, this park, this is a public park. It's just kind of, no one was using it for a long time, I guess, and local skaters. One in particular that was sponsored by Red Bull, or somehow had an association with Red Bull, got some money from them and kind of built up this little do-it-yourself park. And I found this the other day. It's pretty cool, you know, reuse. But this is a skate park in the middle of a place, a dilapidated place that the public doesn't go. And you'll notice once again, and I know this is kind of a, I've been saying this a lot, there's graffiti, but there's no trash. Like, if this was a skate park anywhere else in the world, it would just be disgusting. You know, beer bottles, garbage, you know. And there's something, I don't know what it is here, but they maybe care more about the environment, or they're more civilized in that they don't just throw garbage everywhere. But yeah, pretty cool. Well, okay, I think that's gonna be it for today, really. I'm gonna do a little walkthrough through the mall and maybe film some of that if I don't get kicked out for filming in there. I don't think they will. And then I'm gonna go to that skate park, the indoor one, and take a look at it really quick. Maybe I'll take just a little bit of footage of that, maybe not. And that'll be it for today. I'm just gonna do a little shopping. Weather doesn't look too nice. And I got a job interview tonight, so I wanna go home and study a little bit for the interview and check out the school, so I'm prepared. So that'll be it for today. Till next time, catch you later. I forgot to mention one last thing. When I was talking about the fast food restaurants, I think there's a point to that. I've traveled all over the world, and there's fast food restaurants everywhere, except here. There doesn't really seem to be any. You'll see some in the mall in a second when I go through there. But as a side note to this video, I just wanted to point out that I've only been here for a few days, but I've walked a good chunk of the city, and I don't really see overweight people like I did in London, the US, you know, Portugal. And is there a correlation between fast food restaurants and just a crap ton of them all over the place, like every other storefront? Like in places like London, where obesity is a problem, just like in the US, versus here, where I don't see obese people. Everyone looks fit, everyone. And there are no fast food restaurants anywhere except in the mall, which we'll see in a second. Is there a correlation? I don't
And this is the food court. And these are the only fast food restaurants I've seen so far, right here. Nice mall. Super big. Goes way down there. Okay.